Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Welcome to your Newscast for Wednesday, November 9th, already in the year 2022. I'm Kevin Smith. You have a lot to talk about today. First of all, let's tell you that Exxon Guyana country manager Alistair Routledge on Tuesday sang praises of the PPP government while referencing the Wales gas-to-energy agreement, which was reached earlier this year. Routledge was at the time delivering remarks at the opening ceremony of the Guyana Supplier Forum at Lenora on the west coast of Demerara, where he said the gas project is a major development project for Region 3. It must be noted that the PPP government is pursuing the gas-to-energy project in the absence of the updated feasibility studies, even though the cost of the venture has increased by hundreds of millions of US dollars. On the other hand, the major political opposition, the APNU-AFC, has said plans to reduce electricity costs involve the use of renewable energy, as this has been proven to be the cheaper and safer method. And in other news, days after it was reported that Alario Gold Corp boasted of a gold fever in Guyana, a local miner, Henry Alfonso, has come forward to refute claims made by the company that it owns the 9,000-acre Peruni gold field in Region 7. In a statement sent out on Wednesday by Gunraj & Co., a law firm in Guyana that represents Alfonso, it was stated that he is the rightful owner of the property and had never sold it or relinquished his rights to the gold field. Alfonso reportedly became aware of the Canadian company's claims after reading an article published on Sunday last, reporting that the corporation had bought out 3 large gold fields in Guyana from another company called GoldenEye. And in other news, Chairman of the Private Sector Commission, Paul Cheong, on Tuesday called on the local Content Secretariat to expand the areas set aside for Guyanese to benefit from the oil and gas sector. The PSC chair also encouraged local businesses to work together to strengthen their output. Cheong said that with Guyana ranking among the fastest growing economies in the world, the opportunities for Guyanese exist but require carefully drafted plans to improve capacity and skill sets to tap into these offers. In the meantime, Director of the LCS, Martin Pratap, who provided an update on the achievements of the department, said that several targets for the year have already been met. And moving on, a performance audit of the Ministry of Health conducted by the Auditor General's Office has determined that between 2015 and 2018, the Ministry of Health entered into $12.1 billion contractual agreements with local and international contractors and suppliers that contained no performance criteria or penalty clauses. This represents a blatant disregard for the Procurement Act of 2003, which requires that suppliers or contractors whose tenders have been accepted sign written contracts that conforms to all tender regulations. It is expected that the Ministry of Health and the Regional Democratic Councils effectively manage all contractual agreements with suppliers or contractors by preparing contracts that include performance criteria and penalty clauses. And just before we head to a short break, let's tell you several areas in Georgetown have been in a mess for the last week after the mayor and city council's garbage trucks broke down. Residents from Norton Street and areas in Kitty have been complaining bitterly that their streets are beginning to look like a dump site with overflowing garbage bins. The scent, they said, is starting to become unbearable and that flies are beginning to enter their homes. They were reportedly promised that trucks would return to normal schedule on Monday and had waited all day and night, but none showed up. After press time on Tuesday, residents said that their garbage still remained piled up in front of their homes. The time has now moved on to 12 hours 9 in Guyana. We'll take a short break and return with our news.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
Right now, children are at an increased risk of sexual abuse, and the perpetrator can be nearer than you think. So stay alert and be aware. Be aware of your neighbors. Be aware of your friends. Be aware of the people you have in your home. Do not become complacent. Protect children now. You can make a report to the police or call the CPA hotline on 227-0979.
A message from the Child Care and Protection Agency, Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, and UNICEF.
Back. Let's continue with the news. A car was stolen from the home of a West Bank Demerara resident during the early morning hours on Monday, November 7th. Karim Algernon of Rekdorzi, West Bank Demerara, said that after returning home from work at about 12 hours 45, he parked his car on the parapet in front of his house. This was due to ongoing construction work being done on his bridge. He related that the carjackers apparently entered his home through an open window and found his car keys, phone charger, and approximately $6,000 cash on a counter and stole everything. The intruders then exited the house and disarmed the car using the alarm's remote control attached to the car's key. And in other news, a 48-year-old cameraman and part-time radio announcer at Radio Essequibo lost his life Tuesday morning when a boat transporting President Ali's press team capsized in the Pomeroon River in Region 2. The incident reportedly occurred between 8 hours 30 and 9 a.m. as the boat neared Charity. The president and his press team were on a visit to communities in the area. The deceased, Trevor Patrick, a father of 3, was a resident of Charity, Essequibo Coast, and a former employee of RCA television station. According to reports, the boat transporting the media team was behind the one transporting President Ali when the driver lost control, causing the boat to capsize, tossing all occupants into the Pomeroon River. Poor storage practices over the years have resulted in the Ministry of Health suffering massive losses while exposing the public to serious health risks due to expired drugs and medical supplies. According to a performance report conducted by the Audit Office of Guyana, poor storage practices by the Ministry of Health have resulted in spoiled supplies. The report documented that in 2018 at Kingston, auditors found over 4,000 spoiled hepatitis B vaccines stored in a walk-in freezer among usable supplies. The audit report stated that the management of the regional health facilities should comply with the World Health Organization storage guidelines. However, there was a failure on the part of the management to protect the areas against termites and other insects. Meanwhile, Senior Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh on Tuesday presented notification receipts to the National Assembly of all petroleum revenues paid into the National Resource Fund during the period July 1st to September 30th, pursuant to Section 33 of the NRF Act, the Department of Public Information reported. At the end of September, the Natural Resource Fund's balance stood at $1 billion. The notification was published in the Official Gazette on October 17th. And in other news, opposition leader Aubrey Norton, during a press conference on Tuesday, said that no media worker should be barred from covering public events. Norton was at the time responding to questions from reporters about recent allegations made by the National Communications Network that an opposition member of Department had attempted to prevent two of its cameramen from recording a political meeting held on Sunday at Maka Arcadia, East Bank Demerara. NCN alleged in a statement issued on Monday that during the course of executing their duties, two of their cameramen were attacked and intimidated by APNU AFC Member of Parliament, Nafu Bess. And it is time we turn the pages of today's Kaieteur News to page 7, dedicated to being blunt. Local Government Minister Dharamlal and cleanup. We applaud Minister Nigel Dharamlal's involvement in cleanup exercises. We recommend that it be his full-time duties. He should get good at it, which would benefit Guyanese. It should keep him out of trouble and also of value for all citizens, male and female. And that brings us to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
Midweek, Wednesday, November 9th.